Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I have 3 Christmas DIYs for you, and I want to show you how you can use things you find around your home to make beautiful Christmas decorations for the season. So let's jump right in. So in our first DIY, I'll be making 2 Christmas snowmen. So I measured 2 pieces of wood that I picked up at Home Depot, 15.5 inches for both, and then I sanded that down, just the rough edges. Because the wood was already white, I chose not to repaint. You can repaint if you want to, but I chose to leave it as is. Then I got 2 paint stir. These I had from a few months ago that I got from Walmart. They gave them to me free. So I am measuring 2 pieces. Then I'll cut those and lay them aside. Now, like I said earlier, feel free to use whatever you find at home, or if you have things you can repurpose, that is also good. After you have cut and sanded the wood, it's now time to measure the top of the snowman's hat. So I mark and measure 5.5 inches down, and just to measure across to see where I need to start painting from. I am using Waverly matte finish chalk acrylic paint to paint the top of the wood, which will become the snowman's hat. Like I said, you can use whatever you have at home. You may have oil paint, that is also good, but the oil paint will take longer to dry. So if you have a chalk paint or a matte acrylic paint, that will dry quicker. So use whatever you have. Paint the strips of wood and set those aside to dry. Now I am taking the craft felt. I am going to cut 4 strips of probably about 1 inch wide. Glue those together for the snowman's scarf. I just love red. Red is one of my favorite colors, and this red will just pop on top of the white background. Then I am taking this piece of cardboard and carving out. So now that the paint on the wood is dry, so what I did, I applied wood glue, a little strip of wood glue, and then some hot glue before I attached that to the wood. So I applied 2 coats of the orange paint to the nose to get it looking like carrot, give it that carrot looking color. So off camera, the snowman's eyes were painted because Christine forgot to turn the camera on. So after the paint was all dried, I am now applying coats of Modpodge just to seal the paint in and give it some sheen. And while you're doing that, I would recommend that you not allow the brush to touch the white part, because it is going to mess that up, because it's going to leave a black mark. So now it's time to decorate our snowman. I went ahead and made a bow from Dollar Tree ribbon and a piece of leaf from Dollar Tree flower, Christmas flower. And I am applying my snowman's scarf. I will be using a little hot glue to hold that in place so it's not so easily movable. For DIY number 2, you're going to need 3 books of the same size, preferably the same size in thickness, and you're going to need sheets with the words written on, whatever Christmas song or Christmas poem or whatever is related to Christmas that you would like to display on these books. I picked up these 3 books from the dollar store, $1 each, and you can use whatever books you have at home that you would like to repurpose. You're not destroying the books, you're just repurposing them just for this occasion. So I printed out the sheets and I took off one of the book covering just for measurement. I measured the length that I needed and I cut and pasted sheets together so I can get the desired length. I started by wrapping the book with the original cover. I did it for the first book, and then after, as I go along, I realized that it feels much better without the covering, so I removed that off camera. And make sure when you're wrapping the books that the joined section is going to be at the bottom of the book. That's not going to be showing. So after wrapping the books, I decided that I wanted them to have an aged look. So I mixed together a little brown paint and white paint and just make sure that I got the right shade of brown. Applied it along the spine of the book as well as the leaves. I then took my burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I wrapped that around the books just enough to give me a tight bind. I then fold in the edges and secured those ends with some hot glue. I then took some red ribbon from the Dollar Tree and I am going to put that in the middle of the burlap ribbon. And guys, I must say, making a bow with the ribbon while secured to the book was a challenge for me. Looking back now, I think what I should have done was to use the glue to secure the end of the ribbon and then make the bow separate and glue that on. The rustic brown from the burlap ribbon, the red ribbon and the gold, and I think this looks so beautiful. I am loving it. I love the way this turned out. And now we're on to DIY number 3. Like I said earlier, I am repurposing these craft sticks that I had used. This DIY was inspired by something I saw at the dollar store. You're going to need 3 sets of 5 and you're going to glue down the ribbon, leaving about a ½ inch space in between the 3 sets of 5 craft sticks. Make a loop at the top and then go up and start gluing the other side. I then took love, peace and joy signs that I had from last year. I am removing the burlap, I am removing the jute, and I am going to be gluing those on to my craft sticks. At first I thought of painting the red edges a little brighter, but then I decided against that because that would have been just too much. So I decided to leave them as is. So what I am doing, I am gluing them down. I had some leftover decorations and greenery, pine cone, berries. So what I'm doing, I'm just trying to find the right fit to make this decoration. I eventually settled on just a little greenery, just a little red, because there was just too much red happening already. And I just settled on leaving it as minimal as possible. I am loving the bright red of the ribbon, the tone of the craft sticks behind, and that blending in with the love, joy, peace, just framed with a little touch of red at the edges. So there you have it, guys. I enjoyed doing these 3 DIYs and I hope you will when you decide to try them on your own. But I am loving these DIYs. Add your own personal touch to it. If you are new to my channel, welcome. If you have not already done so, please be sure to subscribe. If you would like to see more budget-friendly content, and hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a video. So thank you for watching and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye.